Hello. Today I am looking at Michael Richard Pence, his natal chart. He was born June the 7th, 1959, and at 12 noon is the time I used because I don't know why, but it seems as though when you are someone who's meant to play ball in the big leagues, your birth date is not provided, and which of course leads me to think that they understand that we're able to pick a lot of information out about them via their birth time. So, I know that astrology in some regards has been a science that has been somewhat debunked, but I have, I feel pretty strongly that we do have some ancient history that does revolve around astrology, and that we maybe have lost in a lot of regards the art of understanding the stars and how we fit into them. And I think that as a result of that, right now you are seeing a large resurgence of people wanting to learn astrology. I know for myself how I became interested in astrology actually goes way back. My mother was somebody whom I have not had much of a relationship with, I want to say that. But the one thing I remember about her was wanting to read her horoscope daily. And for me, for whatever reasons, I've hung on to that. It was a memory of her that I've had that was precious. And so I think in me, it built out a process of, I view astrology as a loving and nurturing tool to assist others in understanding themselves. So we're going to go ahead and so that's just kind of a brief introduction. And what we're kind of concerned about is how will Pence behave on the 6th of January when they formalize the electoral vote counts. Now, I will say that this is just a formality. This isn't an actual, they get their vote too. This is a opening up of the packets that come from the 50 states. The governor stamps and states who the electorals are in each individual county and state. And this packet of information then goes on to an open session between Mike Pence and the Senate, where they formally read at 1 o'clock the votes. Okay, so, and of course, we all know, I think at this point, but I will state the obvious, that at this point, the goal is to award the 270 needed votes for the winner of the United States presidential election. And with that, we shall begin. Thank you. Okay, so here is the chart for Mike Pence. And right off the bat, there are some things about him that I'm pleased to say I found rather surprising. It appears that Mike Pence, much like many of us, has had some rather interesting mothering done with him, and as a result, he doesn't come across, we have a hard time relating to him. And myself, I have a similar type of problem that people tend to be maybe a little concerned, because I do represent transition, I do represent change, and I represent in lots of ways the human that maybe didn't totally get their needs met. And well, that reflectively creates discomfort in others. Okay, so let me make sure I've got 12. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right on the money. Okay, so, and this card just popped up, the Fool. So I'm going to say that is our, the new journey, okay? That'll be our foundation of our reading. So it starts out, Mike Pence, I'm pleased to tell you that He's not who we think he is. We really, I think we just never really got a chance to know him. He was born June 7th, 1959. I used a 12 p.m. birth time. He was born in Columbus, Indiana. I'm using Vedic equal sidereal and a hybrid. My interpretations are as a result of my ongoing education at this time with astropsychology. So I approach this type of reading from looking at the mental structure of the person or their house, looking at who they are. Okay, and what we get, now that just kind of works, I have to tell you. Mike Pence gets the star in his house of Aries, which is ruled, in this case, it's ruled by Mars. He has Pluto in Leo. He's intense, he's personal, he fears expression. And he fights for survival. He's at this time. What is interesting, and I've been asking myself, was he put in the White House as I'm reading his chart? Was he put there as a babysitter? And of course, I get the star card, and you know it would be between the star card and the High Priestess that I would assume would maybe be something stating that, yeah, we're looking out over the situation. Mike Pence might have not been who we thought he was in the office of vice presidency. So let's just go ahead and continue. His focus is on Venus. It's what's really interesting, how things look. Okay, in the house of financial or income, the second house, he has got his North Node in Virgo. He's precise. He has focus. It's ruled by Venus. He wants it to look right. He's seeking his mother, okay? And he gets heartbreak. So yeah, he's had in some regards where we're looking at him and we're thinking that, you know, he's had an easy life. That's not exactly certain for sure. It does look like that somewhere in his early childhood that there were some things that he in fact did suffer. So, you know, what makes him who he is interesting. He values his family. He values the mother, and he hates a lack of clarity. And boy, I can so relate to that, not having had a mother. I really can. So this is, and that would be Mars square Neptune. And that's what's coming up right now in his house of information, his third house. He's unbound and he has ideas in the house of information, which is ruled by Mercury, that alchemical process. There's a new relationship coming. And of course, with this vote coming, that would make perfectly good sense that our relationship to Mike Pence is actually going to change. And I think for Mike Pence, if you want to know the truth, this is going to be deeply relieving, because this is Neptune in Libra, where he is wanting to equalize things. He is wanting to in the collective, treat us fairly, and we get something new in our relationships. So I think this does not bode well for Trump. Everything about this chart, although there are some aspects of Mike Pence that I find are difficult and troubling, there are also aspects about Mike Pence that I find deeply relieving, okay? And his fourth house of his roots, he's got Jupiter in Scorpio, and that is ruled by the moon, okay? And to expand the truth and take care of the family, the home, and the people. That is how Mike Pence sees his job. He dislikes crowds. He follows his need for his mother or for authority in his life. There's that confusion. He's not, he lacks support. He goes it alone a lot. He has no patience. So that is in the, and we get the Hanged Man, okay? And now what's funny, okay, is we get the Hanged Man at this, where it comes up for the family, and He's not interested in, he is not interested in providing Trump a cheat, okay? I'm just going to say that to you. There's nothing in his energy or in his chart other than maybe that if he's committed crimes, but I can tell you the way this chart looks, I think that what he did was he went in there and he was literally a babysitter to Trump. So he gets the hanged man, and keep in mind that he's getting ready to go on a new journey. So that's interesting, okay? And in the fifth house, where he has no patience, okay, he's got Saturn in Sagittarius, okay? And Sagittarius is going to be related to your ninth house. It's going to be your higher education. It's going to be your truth-seeking religious expression. And he is fairly serious when it comes to his spiritual beliefs. He is going nowhere because that guy, he's got his fire policy, and guess what? He's keeping it. He is not letting that bad boy go. And you get the government. He is not giving up his fire policy for the government. Not a chance. He's had enough hurt in his life. He's not going to give up what he thinks is his way forward for this drama of the government. Okay? In his house of career, it's ruled by Capricorn. How he sees career, or it is in Capricorn, ruled by Mercury, is with distance precision, okay? He sees things from a distance, and he sees things with precision, an ace of sword. He's looking for ways forward. He's kind of creative, quiet, and clever, and quite frankly, we just did not see him coming in the house of career. I'm rather pleased because I was expecting dirty and gross for this reading, and really have avoided Mike Pence all the way throughout the presidency because of that. Okay, and then in the seventh house of partnerships, he basically, okay, he gets the world. In partnerships, he is looking, he has Aquarius, okay? He's looking to do something very different in terms of partnerships throughout the world, but his energy is generally seeking a loving reassurance that he is going to be cared for, or he and his family are going to be cared for, or we are going to be cared for. So what I'm telling you is that this is somebody that, in terms of partnerships, is nothing like Trump. Not even remotely close. Okay, in the eighth house of long suffering, death, birth, and contracts, he gets strength. That's in Pisces, so it's strength for the collective, ruled by Pluto. That basically, you see that needle being pointed upward, that he knows that what he has to do is going to be betrayal to Trump, but that is what is required for his job. And so he has to go in and change the contract for Trump. He has to say that the contract now belongs to Biden, and he has to operate in strength to do that. Okay, in the ninth house of higher education, higher learning, he has a reaction response to things. He's got some impulsiveness. He goes where others fear to tread, okay? And what he gets is the Nine of Pentacles. That right now, he does kind of stay behind the scenes. We haven't really known who he is and what exactly he's going to do. But in some regards, this card is saying that he, in fact, has suffered with us, and that the squirrel is maintaining a store for us. And in that sense, I think that indicates that we're heading into a very difficult time globally. And so I will say that I think that that's interestingly part of the energy of now. And then we go to the House of Government, the 10th house, okay? And I'm going to just take you back down to the 4th house because this is worth noting. He has that Jupiter in Scorpio and ruled by the moon, okay, to expand the story from a place of roots. And you go straight up on the chart to the House of Government, exactly opposite. And at the age that Pence is right now, you can see right in here, this directly across, and I believe he's 61 or 62. Right now, he follows, but he doesn't lead, okay? But he's unwilling to support Trump. He sees himself as someone who goes over the details in some kind of a way. That is, he's unwilling. So at his age right now, he's going to challenge the emperor. He is going to say to the government, I'm not following your lead. You do not fit the overall picture. I'm concerned about family and mother. And so this card is saying that he's going to operate in strength, okay, and he's going to come in and he is going to take out the emperor. And then we get the 11th house of secrets, gossip. And again, I put mother, a seed of growth. Honor is important to him, okay, in the house of groups. He belongs in a church. He takes himself very seriously. He has his moon in Gemini in the 11th house. He has Mercury in Gemini in the 11th house. So he sees his honor being questioned here. Values humanitarian, needs the groups for validation, okay? He gets the Knight of Swords. He's coming in. He already has it figured out. He knows what he's got to do, and he's going to do it. He is going to come in. And so, yeah, we are seeing, we're kind of seeing the battle now where, Trump is trying to convince him to do something different than his job. And how sad for Pence. I mean, I think that this might have been the worst 4 years of his life. I don't know for sure, but, I know for me, if I had to put up with this level of unkind pressure, I don't know that I would fare very well. In his 11th house, or excuse me, his 12th house, he's unconventional. The unseen, he's imaginative, and he is all about the home and family. And I do mean diversely, all about the home and family. And like I said, I did not see this man coming. He has Venus in Cancer. It means that he likes the home and family to be intact. He's got Mars in Cancer. He's kind of aggressive about it and thinks of it often. And it's a sudden and unexpected surprise to have him be this human that he is. And that just is the ending of that particular reading. And then he gets moving on to calmer waters. Yes, so I think it's pretty safe to say that Mike Pence, in relation to January 6th, is going to do the right thing. Very interesting. And of course, we started out with the foundation of the Fool, the beginning of a new journey. And for us, the happy family, it's about the coin. We need a change because we need a way financially forward. We can't have a president that's basically taking all the coin from everywhere he can get it under all circumstances and not even bothering to look back, and saying, yeah, have a good life, have a good time, make it work, get another job, yeah, right, sure, we're going to do that. And it is about the structure of our relationships that we need a change. We need a way forward. And folks, justice is coming. And with that, I'll put my laptop back. Please do hit the like, share, and subscribe button and join myself and Pearl Rowland over on www.twiggie.com. And we would just love to do a reading for you. And at a time like this, getting to know yourself, it's worth it. I'm doing a lot of the same work myself, and I can tell you that to put something to bed that needs to be put to bed is a very healthy dynamic. So please do join me over on Twiggy. And I thank you for joining me here today.